This video was made possible by the EA Creator Network.
Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I am back with a early access video where we are building with the new Lovestruck Expansion Pack, which comes out next week. I was lucky enough to get early access to this over the last week or so, and I've done a couple of builds. I've been really busy, so not as many as I would like to, but I will be live over on Twitch this evening doing some more building. If you'd like to join us, I will have a link down below to that, and I'm hoping to get some more videos out over the next couple of days. I also did post a build and buy overview of every item, every swatch earlier today, so I will have that linked down below as well. But in this video, we are creating a tiny house for a sim who is going to start the Black Widow challenge. And if you're not familiar with that challenge, it's basically where you start with a sim and you marry people to get their money. So you marry them, you inherit everything, you kill them off, you keep their house, and you just kind of collect graves along the way. But I figured you had to start somewhere, and we did get some new grungy wallpapers and items and stuff in this game, and a lot of romantic things. So I figured a very cheap starter home for somebody who wants to marry a bunch of different people and work their way up in the world. So the outside is a bit grungy, but the inside has some very enticing finds, like the heart bed, which is a vibrating bed, by the way. I also wanted to mention, if you see my name bouncing around the screen, that's because this is early software and it is not final, so there might be some glitches and stuff as well. I just wanted to make sure I let you know that. Also, if you decide to purchase the Lovestruck Expansion Pack, please consider using my code Gryphi at checkout. You just enter it when you are purchasing on the EA app. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just a way to support me as a creator. So thank you in advance if you decide to do so. And thank you to EA for sponsoring this portion of the video. Since this build is on the smaller side and it's also with new content that's not out yet, I barely edited anything out of this so you could see everything, and it's coming together pretty quickly. It's just a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. Obviously, I do not have Tiny Living installed. I only have Base Game and Lovestruck at this point. So I'm not exactly sure how many tiles this is, but I know it's under 100. It's probably under 60. It's probably around the 32 tile mark. Probably a little bit more though. And it just has a separate bedroom and bathroom, a little closed off kitchen, and I did bring in the same wallpaper that I used outside to the interior of the build as well. I really love how like worn down and gross it looks, and I just thought it was perfect. It looks like I paused for quite a long time here just like looking at the catalog, but this gives you a better idea of some of the items that are in here. I did consider using one of these new rugs that we got with the pack that allow your Sims, or I guess blankets, allows your Sims to like cuddle and woohoo in them, but I didn't end up keeping one of those in the end just because it looked a little odd outside in the space that I had. And there wasn't space inside to put one without it being overlapped by a piece of furniture, which I might end up using these as decorations in the future, not actually for gameplay, because I just think it's nice to have some more rugs. So we shall see. But right inside here, I did grab this new couch, which I think is really pretty. There's a couple of different like styles of furniture that came with this pack, but I particularly like this line, which I believe is the Gothic line. So I did use that in here, and one item I knew I wanted to use for sure was these little pictures. There's like Sims that are crossed out and ones with hearts on them, and I thought that that would be perfect for the Black Widow challenge. I also could see this being really good for a future like criminal house. That was my first thought when I saw the item, when I was going through the items, like when I first got the pack. So I'll probably be doing that at some point in time once I have access to all of the packs next week. And let me know what other builds you would like to see on the channel. I would love to get your suggestions and build some really cool stuff with Lovestruck. Anyway, working on the living room here, as you can see, I have an archway into the bedroom. I thought it would be nice to use the new arches, and since it's just a 1-bedroom, having it kind of open like that I thought was kind of cool. I also did layer 2 of these new rugs. They don't clip, which is nice. You can see the seam, but it's not that noticeable, so I thought that that worked well. And I just wanted a space for a small television and some more artwork, and I go back and forth quite a few times on what artwork to use in this space, but I do end up keeping those flowers up above the TV. I just tried a few different things. So going through some of those now, there is some graffiti and posters and a lot of really beautiful frames. I also thought about using this chair in here, but it didn't really fit, but I did get the costume chest that has a lot of role play costumes in it for your Sims to enjoy. It's also just a cute clutter item, so I thought that that would be nice to include in here. The kitchen's really small. It's pretty much entirely base game other than a couple of decorations I put in here and the wallpaper and windows, but we didn't get any kitchen stuff with this pack, and I think that's fine because it doesn't make sense to. We did get like a couple of items you could use in kitchens, like you could put plants in kitchens. There's also a like tortilla warmer container. I'm not really sure what those are called, but we got one of those. But in the bedroom now, I decided to use these bedside tables from Base Game. I tried a few different items, and it's such a tight space because this is only a 3-wide room, and I thought that these looked the least problematic when they were clipping. I did get the new candles and, of course, the VIP bucket from Base Game. I don't remember which career that's from, but it's a career unlock, and it just seemed perfect for this particular tiny house. I had so much fun decorating this, and it's going to be fun to see what other things I can create. I feel like the heart bed is so over the top, but it is so classically Sims. So I feel like I'm probably going to use it a lot going forward because it's just got a special place in my heart. But at the same time, it is very tacky, but like in a good way. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to create with it, but I'm excited to. I also got some more decorations in this room. I like all of the pictures that are on the mirror, the flower up above the toilet. I love that window that is partially opened. I used that in a couple spots in this apartment or in this tiny house, and I was actually able to squeeze in some storage in there as well into that bathroom. But moving back into the kitchen and trying to figure out what sort of decorations I want to put in here, I'm looking at all of the things in the new pack, trying to figure out, what would work best in this space to add a little bit more personality, but not spend too much budget. And I thought about adding the backsplash tiles that came with this, but they didn't really work quite right. And then I considered the other tiles, and I ended up just going back to the same wallpaper in the end and just getting a couple of books up here on the counter. Those books are also an unlock from the romance consultant career. They're really cute. They just have heart bookends, and then I also added a lamp up here as well. And I'm pretty sure that's it for the decorations in the kitchen. It's super simple, but I think it came together all right. I might have added a rug. I'm not sure. I know I added these lights, though. Those are also really pretty. I have used them in a couple of things I'm working on already, and I think they're really nice. I'm not sure they're going to be a staple going forward, but the other hanging light that came with the pack, which I haven't used yet just because I feel like I'm building slightly different things, but there's this modern light that has this big circle that has a like sphere light in it. I love that one. I'm probably going to be using that a ton going forward. But inside, I'm just adding a trash can. I decided to get a couple of these chairs outside. They're a little bit rusted, which I think is really nice. There's also versions where the paint is wearing off. And then I was trying to figure out some landscaping and like a walkway up to the house. Right now, it's just kind of floating on this massive lot, although it's not that big of a lot. It's a tiny house, so it feels really big. And I decided to just make this space feel like overgrown, and there's some trash and stuff around. I was really going for like a rundown space, and I just wanted to make sure that that was portrayed on the outside. So I do end up using a lot of Show Live Edit objects to get some free landscaping, and I had so much fun with the exterior here. You're going to see me grabbing a bunch of different bushes and grasses and just trying to make it blend into the surroundings. I do zoom out a few times to look at what else is in this area, so I pick out correct plants. And I got to use this new dumpster item. This is from Debug. It looks just like the dumpsters from Eco Lifestyle, but it's not functional. It's a decorative one that's opened, and there's trash all over, and I just thought that was fun. So I did include that. And then I am getting some more of these bushes. I'll be getting some terrain paint a little bit later as well. And lots of these various trees. I thought about using the purple trees on this lot, but they looked a little bit fancier and didn't quite match the rest of the build. I also really enjoy that this wallpaper, when you stack it, yes, there's a line at the top technically there that shows the top and bottom, but they line up really well, so it looks like it's just continuing into the roof line. So I wasn't too upset about that. I did also add this decorative like water heater, I think it is. It is another Debug item, although I think we got one in the regular catalog as well, but I grabbed the free one. And then I'm just framing out some of the landscaping with some of these little rocks, doing some more terrain paint, and there's actually going to end up being a fake car on this lot as well. And I'm trying to think what else. Just lots of more landscaping to make it look super overgrown. So it's a pretty simple build. But I have been so busy, and this is what I was able to get out in the early access period. But don't worry, there's going to be more videos coming over the next couple of days. I would love to know what you would like to see. And like I had mentioned before, I'm going to be live on Twitch tonight if you would like to join us and do some building in Lovestruck together. So I will have that linked down below. And that's pretty much it for this video. Just gonna be finishing up this landscaping here, adding that car and a like telephone pole or electricity pole, as well as finishing up some trees and plants behind the house and lots of terrain paint. And then we're gonna be heading on into screenshots. So I really hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe if you'd like to see more and click that bell to be notified when I upload. And if you're interested in pre-ordering or purchasing the Lovestruck Expansion Pack, please consider using my code Gryphi at checkout. It doesn't cost you anything extra and it supports me as a creator, so thank you so much for considering. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.